This is the video review for Bandai Gigano Dragon. This figure is probably one of my favorite designs of all time, although the actual figure itself isn't that great, mostly because of the materials used and some of the choices for how the joints work. Now, as you can probably tell, this thing doesn't really look like a transformer. In fact, it kind of looks like it doesn't transform at all. Well, it does, and it transforms into actually quite a convincing robot mode. The only real problem that the Dragon mode has is just that, well, of course it's not going to come off easily that time, but basically the joints in here and the ball joints come off very, very easily. And while it's not a fragile toy, everything will pop off before it'll break. This purple translucent plastic is very soft. It's not quite so much an issue when, well, this just popped off very, very easily. I wasn't really even doing anything with it. Yeah, basically everything's loose in Dragon mode, and it falls apart kind of easily. Like, I'm having a hard time getting it to stay in any kind of a pose. So this isn't a figure that you really play with in Dragon mode. It's more of a display piece with a huge wow factor. Like, I mean, it's just so troublesome getting this thing to cooperate that once you get it into a decent pose, you're not going to want to move it until it's time to transform it into his robot mode. Yeah, this thing all stretched out is about 3 feet long. So despite that it's spindly, it is big. So to transform it, the first thing you'll do is you will take the middle section and turn it around. And here you can see the head, which actually should have been like that, but it doesn't matter. Turn the head forward, and then what you'll start doing is you will start pulling the figure together, like that. And then turn the front around, pull. This is a big figure too, so it'll be hard to keep everything in shot. Pull this around, and then click it in here, and down here, and straighten out the foot. Do the same thing to the other side. Turn it about, pull it down, and plug it in here, and down here, and here. There we go. And then split his head fins like that. And that is Bandai Gigano Dragon in... well, it's not a Transformers figure, and I don't quite know if it's robot, but let's call it robot mode. And truly, that transformation is why I love this figure. It goes from a long, spindly Chinese dragon snake thing to a very well-proportioned and very kibble-free robot mode. Now, you do have this little bit of a tail piece, but that's actually supposed to be a weapon. So when his hand here is folded up, it's like a club or something. As for articulation and the arms, this guy is quite well serviced because his arms turn 360. They go out about that far. He has a little bit less than 90 at the elbow, and he rotates above the elbow. And a little bit of hand articulation, but it's pretty useless, especially since it's a curling iron hand. His dragon head hand has a gimmick where there's a little lever under here. And that's really the difference between the arms. His head will rotate, and despite what you might think because of the transformation, he actually does have a little bit of leg articulation. His legs go forward and back at the hip, just a little bit, about that much. Go more forward at the knee than back, but you can go back. And he has a decent amount on the feet because they're ball jointed. They can turn. Now he actually has a little bit of turn right up here, but it's not very useful. So, yeah, actually that is a little bit of a problem because these pegs are made out of that soft purple plastic. He will come undone from time to time, but just make sure you squeeze together and it won't be an issue. So really, the leg articulation is just so that you can get him looking not quite so static, like give him a little walking pose. And his arm articulation is, well, it's standard arm articulation. And truly, this is one of the more interesting figures out there. Has quite a bit of charm. The transformation is amazing. And the dragon mode, once again the cool pose, is a great display item. So if you're willing to put up with some of the... It's not fragile, it just comes apart easily. But it disassembles, or it reassembles just as easily as it comes apart. So if you're willing to put up with that minor frustration for everything else you get with this figure, I really recommend picking it up. Thanks for watching. That's all.